So still live here on CBS Sports Network on the Cover 3 podcast. This has been quite an experience for you. You know, you get the job. You've got a lot on the to-do list, from assembling the staff, working on the roster. Now that you're here at Big Ten Media Days, is it almost a relief that you've hit it and the season is here?
Yeah, it's almost like we're close to the finish line.
Right.
Just to finally get to ball, you know. But it's been a blessing just to be in this position and be able to be the head coach at your alma mater, you know. So I'm pretty excited, and I'm just looking forward to the season.
It had to be like drinking from a fire hose, taking over so late in the process, you know, given when Chip left. What was that process like, you know, taking over so late?
It was, it was something I've never done before, you know. But I mean, it wasn't necessarily ideal, but it didn't really hinder us as much, you know. I was just focused on getting some offensive coaches so we can install the offense before spring ball. Mm-hmm. That was my number one.
So what would you say then to this point, because obviously the season hasn't started yet, but what has been the biggest challenge for you so far taking over as the head coach of this program?
It was just mostly getting the NIL together, mm-hmm. you know. That component wasn't where it needed to be, but I think that it's trending in the right direction now, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Is that the university community? You know, where are some of the important places that you need to reach out to make sure to get that mobilized?
It was just mostly giving guys access and letting them see the program. You know, it's kind of hard to donate to something if you don't really know much about it or what's going on. You know, so I wanted them just to come see it, come be around it, and you know, once you feel like you're a part of something, you'll want to give.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was the thing.
Am I wrong to think you guys have one of the best receiving groups potentially in the Big Ten? Like, I look at this list, like that, you guys got some real players here.
Yeah, that's probably my deepest room on the team. You know, from J. Mike to Rico Flores to Titus to Logan Loya. You know, we're about 5-6 deep, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then I'm really excited about Ethan Garbers too. So, you know, he had a really good spring. He was able to continue to play well. You know, he was the MVP of our bowl game, and he didn't even start the game. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm pretty excited just to see what he can do if we can keep him healthy.
And we had Lincoln on here a couple segments ago, and we were talking about the joining the league. One of the bigger challenges now is the travel. And Lincoln was saying for him, he doesn't think it's that big of a deal. For you guys, though, you're starting the season with a road trip to Hawaii, mm-hmm. and then you're coming home, and then you're flying to the East Coast, and then you're flying home. For your weekly preparation, how do you plan around that, knowing that you're going to have to spend a little extra time traveling this year than you have in the past?
It's going to be the same thing, because if you want to play at the next level, you're going to travel. Those first two games that you mentioned, Hawaii, LSU, we won't be in school. Mm-hmm. So that's okay.
So that's a bonus,
So those other two East Coast games, those are truly going to be during the season, and Penn State and Rutgers, and, you know, just the nature of the beast. You know, being in this conference, you're going to have to play a couple games like that. But there's some teams in the ACC that have a real travel, you know, so I don't think it's really going to affect us too much. I think our guys might be more affected of being in bigger stadiums, you know, bigger crowds, going to Penn State. Not necessarily the travel, but just being in the stadium. So I think I'm going to try to find ways to neutralize that, like letting them see the stadium before the game and stuff like that. So
you mentioned your time in the NFL. But this year in college football, we get helmet communications, which is new. How much do you think having been in the NFL is a benefit to your staff?
That's huge. Huge. One, on offensively, coach already knows how to use it and how it can help him. You know what I mean? Defensively, Coach Akaika Malloy is he's still figuring out, because he only used it in the bowl game. Sure. But it's still an advantage, you know, going from sign language to now English. Right. You know, being verbal, it's just completely different. So it would have been, that could have been difficult if we didn't have that.
You joked up at the podium that the players don't want to hear much about your playing career, but what can you pass along to them that you think has been valuable in terms of being able to let your experience be another tool in your coaching toolbox?
It's just more of giving them the experience and not necessarily the football stories.
Yeah.
You know, because they want to hear about the experience, because I've done something that they all want to do. You know, I think that's why I was able to be so successful with the running backs, is because I had guys that believed what I was telling them, and then they would just go do it. So my number one goal is just make sure I just do that on a bigger scale with the rest of the team.
You know, last year, one of the strengths of the Bruins team was its defensive front. You lost a lot of key players. You also kept a key one in Jay Toya. Who have you seen in practice so far heading into the season that is giving you kind of confidence, can step into that role and be a big-time player and maybe a disruptor?
Coming off spring, Busick did a really good job playing defensive end. Femi, my middle linebacker, he had a great spring also. Devin Kirkwood had a good spring. Jalen Davies. A couple safeties came in and played well. So it's going to be more of a collective thing than just having a top 15 pick.
Yeah.
You know?
Those are nice to have.
Exactly.
They help for sure.
Yeah, to have more of a top 15 pick. So I'm excited to see which guys step up. You know, I saw a lot of guys step up in spring, and now when we're coming into this training camp, I really want to see who takes their game to the next level. So
Gotta ask, do you play the EA Sports college football video game?
I have not yet, but my sons have been killing me trying to get me to play.
All right, let's go back in time. What would your ratings have been? Overall, speed, agility, break, tackle, acceleration?
Overall, I'm going to go 95.
Okay.
Speed, let's go 92. Agility, I'll go 95 again. Break tackle, I'm going like 98.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember watching it. It's definitely 98.
98. Yeah. Awesome. That's about it.
One last one for you here. What do you want people to think about when they think of the identity of Deshaun Foster's UCLA Bruins?
It's just basically going to be my pillars. You know, it's going to be discipline, respect, and enthusiasm. So if you cut on a game, and you should be able to see that win, lose, or draw, you should be able to go out there and see on my team, like, that team is disciplined, they play with respect, and they're having fun. So that's the number one I'm just preaching. I want guys to get out there and have fun, man. This is a game. It's a fun game, you know? It's the ultimate team game, so have fun doing it.
That's awesome.
Yes.
He is UCLA head coach Deshaun Foster, guiding the Bruins into year one of its Big Ten era. Coach, thank you so much. Good luck this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Coach.
you.
Coming up on the other side, we're scheduled to be joined here at the desk by Penn State coach James Franklin. We'll be talking about the Nittany Lions and more next.